She rolled her eyes at her friend. He thinks we're exclusive, but I'm still keeping my options open at the restaurant. I was coming back from the car with her purse. I dropped it on the table and said, "Keep them open," and left. Her panicked call came 10 minutes later when her card was declined. I, 28 male, met Sophia at a friend's housewarming party 8 months ago. She was the type who commanded attention without trying. Sharp wit, killer smile, worked in marketing for some tech startup. We hit it off immediately. Within 2 months, we were exclusive. Or so I thought. Last Friday, we were at this upscale fusion place downtown. She'd forgotten her purse in my car, asked me to grab it while she ordered appetizers with her friend Maya. I was maybe 20 feet from their table when I heard Maya ask, "So are you and him like, official?" Sophia rolled her eyes. Actually rolled them. "He thinks we're exclusive, but I'm still keeping my options open. Why limit yourself, you know?" Maya laughed. "Girl, you're terrible. Does he pay for everything?" "Usually. He's sweet like that." I stood there holding her $800 designer purse, the one I'd bought her for her birthday 2 months ago. The same purse that currently held the apartment key I'd given her, my spare car fob, and probably the earrings I'd surprised her with last week. I walked back to the table, dropped the purse next to her plate. She looked up, smile faltering when she saw my face. "Keep them open," I said, and left. Her first call came exactly 11 minutes later. I know because I was sitting in my car in the parking garage, opening my banking app. We had a joint savings account, the one we'd opened for our future apartment. I couldn't just empty it, but I could do something else. I initiated a withdrawal request for my contributions, $8,734.62. The bank's policy required both signatures for immediate transfers over $5,000, but I could freeze the account and request a full accounting audit, which I did. "Babe, my card just got declined. What's happening?" "Which card?" "The joint account one." "Oh, that's frozen pending an audit. I requested a full transaction history." "What? Why would you?" "Because I just found out I'm not actually in an exclusive relationship. Seems like a good time to review our financial arrangement." "This is about what you heard?" "You're being dramatic. It was just girl talk." "Cool. Use your personal card for dinner." I hung up. Then I did something perfectly legal but petty. I opened our shared Google Calendar and deleted myself from everything. The Palm Springs trip next month, the concert tickets I'd bought for her favorite band, her cousin's wedding where I was supposed to be her +1. All gone. 23 more calls that night, 47 texts. I read them all, responded to none. Update 1. So I thought that would be the end of it. Change some passwords, get my spare key back, move on. I'm not a vindictive person. I just wanted her out of my life. But Sophia had other plans. Sunday morning I woke up to 52 Instagram notifications. She'd posted our entire relationship history with captions like, "When you thought you found the one." And some people can't handle a strong, independent woman. The comments were brutal. Her friends calling me insecure, controlling, toxic, people I'd never met discussing my fragile masculinity. Then she posted a TikTok. It went semi-viral, 47K views in 6 hours. Her crying, makeup perfectly smudged, telling her version, "I was just joking with my friend and he abandoned me at a restaurant with no way to pay. Then he stole our savings." That's when I decided to document everything. I screenshot every text she'd sent about the apartment fund being our money, when the bank statements showed she contributed exactly $0. Found our text conversations where she'd insisted on being exclusive, including one where she'd said, "I deleted all my dating apps for you, baby." But the real revelation came from an unexpected source. My buddy Derek works IT at a competing firm. He called me Monday morning. "Dude, weird question. Is Sophia your girlfriend?" Why? "She's been hitting up our head of marketing pretty hard on LinkedIn, sending our company all kinds of marketing strategies that look suspiciously like insider information. My boss asked me to do some digging." "What kind of information?" "Client analytics, campaign performance data, ROI reports, stuff that's definitely not public. She's trying to poach your clients, man." That's when things clicked. 3 weeks ago, she borrowed my laptop for a presentation. Said her battery died. I'd thought nothing of it, but I had remote access enabled on all my devices. I pulled up the activity logs, legal, clean, indisputable. She'd accessed our shared drive, downloaded 17 files, all containing proprietary client data. The logs showed everything: timestamps, file names, even the USB device she'd saved them to. I called Derek back. "Can you forward me those LinkedIn messages?" "Already done. This is messed up, dude." Monday afternoon, I walked into my boss Janet's office with a folder of evidence. "We need to talk about a potential data breach." Janet's face went pale as I showed her the logs. How did you discover this?" Her attempt to shop our data to competitors got flagged by their IT department. They reached out to me personally because they recognized the information. We need legal involved. Now. Update 2. I need to be careful about what I share here for legal reasons. But let's just say Sophia's week got significantly worse. Her company launched an investigation after mine sent them a formal notice about the data theft. My company didn't want to pursue criminal charges, bad publicity, but they did want the data secured and assurances it wouldn't happen again. She called me crying on Wednesday. First time she'd sounded genuine since I'd known her. "Please, you have to tell them it was a misunderstanding. I could lose everything." Like how I misunderstood we were exclusive. That's different. You're right, that was just cruel. This is actually illegal. I only took those files to help with my job search. Everyone does it. Everyone doesn't steal proprietary data from their boyfriend's company, Sophia. It's not stealing. I was just trying to show initiative. Your lawyer will explain why that argument won't work. She tried another angle. What about us? What we had? What we had was me paying for everything while you kept your options open. Speaking of which, how's your LinkedIn networking going? Long silence. How did you? The marketing head at Morrison Tech thought your proposals looked familiar. Their IT department traced it back. You set me up. No, I discovered what you did. There's a difference. Her company put her on administrative leave pending investigation. She had to hire a lawyer. A real one, not her friend's cousin who totally knew law stuff. But here's where it gets interesting. Thursday night, she showed up at my apartment. Not angry, not crying, just calculating. "I know you're hurt," she said, leaning against my doorframe in that way she knew used to work on me. "But think about what you're doing. We could work this out. I could make this all go away." "How exactly?" "I delete the posts. Tell my company it was a misunderstanding. We move past this together. And in return, you tell your company the same thing. Misunderstanding. No harm, no foul." I actually laughed. "You're trying to negotiate with me? After everything?" "I'm trying to save us both. This legal stuff, it's expensive. For both of us." She wasn't wrong, but she'd miscalculated something crucial. "Sophia, I have computer logs showing you accessed and downloaded proprietary data. Morrison Tech has your LinkedIn messages trying to sell that data. Your social media posts claim I stole money that bank records show you never contributed. What exactly are you offering that makes walking away worth it?" Her mask finally slipped. "You're really gonna ruin my life over some jokes?" "I'm not ruining anything. You stole from my company and tried to destroy my reputation. I'm just not covering for you anymore." She left. But not before trying one last manipulation. "You know I've been struggling with money. My mom's medical bills, my student loans. I needed this." I almost felt bad. Then I remembered the $800 purse, the trips to Miami and Vegas she'd posted about, the new iPhone she'd bought last month. "Sophia, I've seen your Instagram. Whatever story you're about to spin, save it for someone who hasn't been paying for your lifestyle for 6 months. Update 3. So it's been about a month since the restaurant incident. Here's where things stand. The legal stuff dragged on for 3 weeks. Lots of meetings, lawyers talking to lawyers, negotiations I wasn't part of. In the end, both companies wanted this to go away quietly. Sophia's company terminated her for violating their code of conduct and her NDA. She had to sign an agreement not to use or disseminate any of the stolen data and cannot work for any of our clients for 2 years. My company was satisfied with that outcome. The financial stuff was messier. The bank required both our signatures to close the joint account, which meant meeting at a branch. Awkward doesn't begin to cover it. She tried to claim she was entitled to half, but the transaction history was clear. Every deposit was from my account. She'd transferred money in exactly twice, $50 each time, immediately followed by withdrawals of $200 plus. The bank manager actually raised his eyebrows at that. In the end, she signed off on releasing the funds to me. All $8,734.62. But here's the thing nobody tells you about these situations. The aftermath is weird. I ran into Maya last week at Whole Foods. She actually approached me. She's really struggling, Maya said, like I should care. That's unfortunate. She lost her job, her apartment. She's moving back with her parents. Sounds like the consequences of her own actions. Maya shook her head. You could have just talked to her about what you heard. I could have. But would it have mattered? She was actively dating other people, expecting me to fund her lifestyle and stealing from my company. The restaurant comment was just when I found out. She wasn't stealing. She was networking. With proprietary data she downloaded from my laptop, that's literally theft. But hey, if you want to hire her for your company, I'm sure she'd appreciate the reference. That shut her up. The truth is, I'm not proud of how this played out. Part of me wonders if I should have just walked away clean after the restaurant. But when someone publicly accuses you of theft and tries to destroy your reputation while they're the actual thief, sometimes you have to defend yourself. I've been in therapy since this happened. Not because I regret protecting myself, but because I need to understand how I missed so many red flags. How I convinced myself that paying for everything was normal. How I ignored the little inconsistencies in her stories. My therapist asked me last week if I felt guilty. Sometimes I admitted. She lost everything. Did you make her take that data? No. Did you make her lie about your relationship? No. Did you make her publicly defame you? No. Then what exactly do you feel guilty about? I thought about it. For not seeing it sooner, I guess. For being naive enough to trust her. She smiled. That's not guilt, that's growth. The joint account is closed. I used some of the money for therapy, put the rest in a new savings account. Just mine this time. Maybe I'll use it for a solo trip somewhere. Or maybe I'll just keep saving for that apartment. One where I'm the only name on the lease. Sophia's social media has gone dark. Mutual friends tell me she's taking time to work on herself. Her LinkedIn still shows her as a marketing consultant, but Derek tells me she's been applying to jobs out of state. Apparently, word travels fast in our industry. She tried reaching out once about 2 weeks ago. A long email about how sorry she was, how she'd been under pressure, how she never meant for things to go this far. I didn't respond. My lawyer advised against any contact, and honestly, I had nothing to say. The restaurant? I actually went back there last week with some friends. Different server, thankfully. When we were leaving, the hostess stopped me. You were here about a month ago, right? Left suddenly? I tensed up. Yeah, why? She smiled. Your girlfriend's friend ended up having to pay. She was not happy about it. Made quite a scene about how it was supposed to be split 3 ways and her card got declined too. I couldn't help but laugh. Turns out Maya learned an expensive lesson about girl talk that night. The hostess said the bill was $312 and they had to call Maya's boyfriend to come pay. Life's funny that way. One overheard conversation changes everything. But maybe it needed to change. Maybe we all need someone to drop our purse on the table and tell us to keep our options open. As for me, I'm taking things slow. Focusing on work, going to therapy, hanging out with friends who've been team she's sketchy from the start, should have listened. Learning to spot the difference between confidence and deception, between independence and exploitation. And yeah, I changed all my passwords. Enabled 2-factor authentication on everything. Even changed my Netflix password, found out she'd shared it with at least 3 people. My recently watched was full of shows I'd never heard of. The whole experience taught me something valuable. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And when they literally tell someone else who they are while you're standing 20 feet away, definitely believe them then. I know some people will think I went too far. That I should have been the bigger person. But being the bigger person doesn't mean being a doormat. It doesn't mean letting someone steal from your company and publicly destroy your reputation without consequence. Sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's just stepping back and letting someone face the natural consequences of their actions. I didn't ruin Sophia's life. I just stopped enabling her to ruin mine. The view count on her TikTok? Last I checked, it had stalled at around 73K. The comments section had turned into a debate about whether she was the victim or the villain. Someone had found her LinkedIn and posted about the data theft. The narrative had shifted. But I don't check anymore. That chapter's closed. I'm writing a new one now. One where I know my worth, set boundaries, and don't mistake manipulation for love. And if I ever hear I'm keeping my options open again, at least now I know exactly what to do. Walk away. And let them figure out how to pay for their own dinner. My girlfriend mocked, "You'd never leave someone like me." I replied, "You're right." That night, I let her believe she'd won. The next time she saw me, I wasn't alone. And the look on her face was worth every second of silence. 33 male, I'm a back-end developer. I build the systems that make other flashier things work. I'm quiet, I make very good money, and I'm what most people would call predictable. My girlfriend, Alara 29, is not. Alara is a lifestyle curator. That's not a job title, it's a state of being. She curates brunch, she curates her outfits, she curates a following of 30,000 people who watch her curate. We've been together for 3 years, and for the last 2 she's lived in my house, my name on the mortgage, my name on the bills. She contributes vibes and occasionally buys an expensive vegetable. I loved her, I think. I loved how vibrant she was, how she could walk into a room and just take it over. I was the stable ground, and she was the tornado. It worked until it didn't. The last 6 months, the tornado got expensive and mean. My boring job funded her curated life, and she started to resent me for it. My quiet nights in were sad. My practical car was an embarrassment. Her friends, a gaggle of other curators and hangers-on, would come over, drink my $80 wine, and look at me with a kind of polite pity. Then Kian, 30M, showed up. Kian was her brand strategist. He had a man bun, wore linen pants, and charged an astonishing amount of money to tell her things like, "Your aura is magenta, you need to lean into that." I'm predictable. I check my credit card statements. I'd given her an authorized user card on my Everything account years ago. I'd forgotten about it, as I rarely use that account. She had not. I opened the statement last week. $15,300. In 1 month, $2,200. Strategy weekend at the Meridian Hotel. $850. Client dinner at Le Ciel. I was home eating leftovers that night. $5,000. Consulting fee K. $3,000. Brand aesthetics. A shopping spree at a designer boutique. Another $4,250 in various charges for spa days, high-end lunches, and bottle service networking. My hands didn't shake, I just felt tired. The data was in. The system was corrupt. I waited for her to come home. She waltzed in around 10 p.m., smelling like champagne and Kian's sandalwood cologne. "Hey," I said, holding up the printed statement. "We need to talk about this bill." She glanced at it, her lip curling in a way that was meant to be playful, but was just ugly. Finance? Really, Theo? It's just startup costs. Kian is building my brand. You have to spend money to make money. You spent $2,200 at a hotel with him, Alara. It was a strategy session, she snapped, her voice high. We were mapping out my Q4 content, something you wouldn't understand. This is my money, Alara. You're spending it on another man. She stopped. She turned. She actually laughed, a cold, sharp, barking laugh. She walked right up to me, her face a mask of beautiful contempt. "So what if I am?" she whispered, her voice full of ice. "What are you ever going to do about it, Theo? You're too weak. You're too boring. You'd never leave someone like me. You could never get someone like me again." I looked at her, really looked at her. The woman I thought I loved, and the whole stupid, expensive mirage just evaporated. The fog cleared. I wasn't hurt. I wasn't even angry. I was just done. I gave her a small, sad smile. "You're right, Alara." Her face lit up with a smug, toxic victory. She thought she'd won. She thought she'd put me back in my boring little box. "Good," she said, patting my cheek. "Now, be a doll and bring me a glass of wine. Tian has me on this new content schedule and I'm exhausted." "Of course," I said. I went to the kitchen. I didn't get her a glass of wine. I went into my office, closed the door, and sat down at my desk. The system was broken. Time to build a new one. I opened my laptop and made my first call, not to a therapist, to a lawyer. Update 1. It's been 3 weeks since the confrontation. 3 weeks of silence. I've been the perfect, beaten-down, predictable boyfriend. I've been quiet, agreeable, and completely invisible. I apologized the next morning for questioning her. I said she was right. Her brand was important. Her entitlement, fueled by her win, has been breathtaking. She's been treating my house like her personal party venue. She's had Tian and her curator friends over constantly. They lounge by my pool, drink my liquor, and order catering on my accounts, which I've been quietly documenting and paying for now. She's been driving my car, a luxury sedan I bought last year, telling friends I gave it to her as an apology. She really truly believes she has crushed me. Theo, babe, can you go pick up my dry cleaning? Tian and I are in a deep flow synergy session. Theo, the pool filter sounds weird. Can you fix it? The noise is messing with my content. I just nod. Of course. On it. I haven't been fixing the pool. I've been busy. Legal. My lawyer, a sharp woman named Helen, confirmed what I already knew. The house is mine, bought 100% with my own money, in my name only, before Alara even moved in. Alara is legally a tenant at will. No lease, no rights. Logistics. I've spent 2 weeks meticulously documenting everything. The parties, the fraudulent charges, Tian staying over, thanks security cameras. The plan. I met with a realtor, the top seller in our area, a woman so sharp she could cut glass. Juliana. I signed the listing agreement a week ago. Today is Saturday. The weather is perfect. Alara is hosting a Brandchella brunch. Her 30 closest influencer friends are here. Tian is playing king by the pool, wearing my bathrobe. My bathrobe. The music is thumping. Alara is on Instagram Live holding a mimosa, showing off her beautiful house. It's just so important to curate a space that reflects your highest self, she's saying to her phone. That's my cue. At 1 p.m. sharp, a car pulls up the driveway. Not a flashy one. A tasteful, expensive SUV. I walk out the front door wearing a suit for the first time in months. Alara sees me and frowns. Theo? Where are you going, and what are you wearing? You look like a mortician. I don't answer. Juliana gets out of the SUV, followed by a well-dressed couple in their 50s. She's all business, holding a leather-bound folio. Theo. Good to see you, Juliana says, shaking my hand. And this must be the, current resident. Alara's smile is frozen. The music seems to fade. Her friends are all watching. Tian has stopped his synergy session. Alara, I say, my voice calm and clear. This is Juliana from Premier Properties, and this is Dr. and Mrs. Alistair. They're here for the 1 p.m. private viewing. Alara's mimosa glass visibly shakes. Viewing? What are you talking about? Juliana steps forward, beaming a predatory smile. Hi, Alara. What a lovely party. Theo has decided to sell this beautiful property, and the Alistairs are very interested buyers. We're starting with the outdoor entertainment spaces, so if you and your guests could just clear the pool deck, that would be wonderful. We need to show the cabana. The silence. Oh, it was beautiful. 30 phones, all previously recording content, are now just held limply. Tian stands up, the bathrobe falling open. Hey man, what is this? You can't just kick us out. I'm not, I say, turning to him. I'm just asking you to move so my realtor can show the property. My apologies for the interruption. Please continue curating. Alara finally finds her voice. It's not a yell. It's a high, thin shriek. Theo, no, you can't. This is my home. This is my brand. I look at her, the same calm, sad smile from 3 weeks ago. You're right, Alara. I'd never leave you. You told me so yourself. But the house, it's just an asset. A predictable, boring asset, and I'm liquidating it. I turn to the Alistairs. If you'll follow me, the master suite has wonderful natural light this time of day. The look on her face, her perfect, curated, beautiful face, just crumbling. It was worth every second of silence, every dollar she stole. As I walked away, I heard the first influencer quietly say, I think I have to go. The party was over. Update 2. The Brandchella brunch ended, as you can imagine, immediately. It was like a bomb went off. Her friends scattered like cockroaches. They didn't say goodbye. They just vanished. Tian, the brand strategist, apparently had a client emergency and was one of the first to bolt. Left her standing there alone by the pool. Juliana and the Alistairs were masterful. They toured the entire house, politely ignoring Alara, who was now just vibrating with rage in the kitchen. After they left, the real storm hit. You did this to humiliate me, she screamed. She was throwing things. Expensive, curated things. A $400 vase, a gift to herself, on my card, shattered against the wall. You, programmer, You can't sell my house. I just stood in the entryway. I didn't flinch. It's not your house, Alara. It never was. It's mine, and I am selling it. I pulled a folded paper from my suit jacket. This is a formal 30-day notice to vacate. It's drafted by my lawyer. You have until the 15th of next month. After that, you'll be trespassing. She stared at the paper like it was on fire. 30 days? 30 days. I can't. Where will I go? I don't know, I said. Perhaps Kian has some brand-based solutions. You have 30 days to curate a new living situation. I'd start now. I left. I went to a hotel. I'm not stupid. I wasn't staying there with her. The 30 days have been a masterclass in entitlement. She's been cycling through every tactic in the narcissist's playbook. Phase 1, the victim. She didn't move. She didn't pack. Instead, she called her mother, Corinne. Corinne called me, sobbing. Corinne, Theo, please, I don't know what got into you. Alara is a wreck. She's fragile. You can't do this to her. You're her rock. Me, Corinne, I'm selling my house. Alara has been given a generous 30-day notice to find a new apartment. She's an adult. But she's not ready. Her brand is tied to that house. She's built a life there. You're destroying her career. Her career was funded by my bank account. That funding is over. She needs to speak to her brand strategist if she has business problems. You're a monster, Theo, a cold, heartless monster. She loved you. Me, no, she loved my house and my credit score. Goodbye, Corinne. Clay's 2, the seductress. A few days later, I get texts, not angry ones, pictures, her in lingerie, her by the pool. Baby, I miss you. Don't be like this. I was stupid. I was scared of how much I loved you. Kian is nobody. You're my king. Come home. We can work this out. I'll make it up to you. I'll get a job. A real one. Just don't do this to us. I screenshotted them, sent them to Helen, my lawyer, did not reply. Phase 3, the saboteur. Dirty trick. This is where I almost lost it. I've been coordinating with Juliana for the open house this past weekend. We had to. The private viewings were too easy for Alara to disrupt. I went to the house on Friday night. After she'd gone out, I've been monitoring the security cameras remotely. I needed to make sure the place was presentable. I opened the door and the smell of mildew hit me like a wall. I walked into the living room. The ceiling was sagging. Water was dripping from the light fixture. I ran upstairs. The master bathroom. She had plugged the overflow drain on the $10,000 freestanding tub, turned the water on, and just left it. It had been running for hours. The water had poured over the edge, soaked the new hardwood floors they were cupping, and streamed down into the living room, ruining the ceiling, the plaster, and the built-in bookshelves. She'd done it on purpose, to sabotage the sale, to punish me. She found it later. Alara, via text. OMG, Theo, the tub overflowed. I don't know what happened. It's a disaster. I guess you'll have to cancel the sale. It's a sign the house wants us to stay. My hands were shaking. All the calm, collected planning, gone. This was thousands, tens of thousands in damage. I didn't reply. I called my insurance company. I called a water remediation team who cost a $5,000 emergency fee. And I called my lawyer. Helen, I said, my voice tight. She just flooded the house. Helen was quiet for a second. Okay, Theo, this is no longer a civil matter. This is deliberate property damage. We're filing a police report, and we're moving up the eviction. Alara thinks she won. She thinks she's safe. She thinks she's delayed the sale indefinitely, and that I'll have to negotiate with her. She has no idea what she just did. She didn't just break a tub. She just gave me the final piece of evidence I needed. Her 30-day notice is up. Tomorrow. She hasn't packed a single box. She's in for a very, very rude awakening. Final update. It's been 2 months. I'm in a new apartment. It's a rented condo downtown, minimalist and blessedly quiet. The house is sold. It was a nightmare, but it's done. Here's how the final act went down. After the flood, I moved. Fast. I couldn't live in the house. I had the remediation team gut the living room ceiling and dry out the master bath. The insurance claim was a mess, but I had the text messages where she discovered the flood and the security camera log showing her leaving the house hours before she sent that text. It was blatant. My lawyer, Helen, was a shark. The deliberate property damage, which we had a contractor estimate at over $30,000, allowed us to file for an emergency writ of possession. The 30-day notice was now just a formality. We had cause. The judge, seeing the photos, the texts, and the repair estimates, signed it immediately. The eviction, day 31. Alara's 30-day notice was up on a Tuesday. She was still in the house, probably celebrating her win. She'd posted an Instagram story that morning. Sometimes you have to fight for your home. Blessed, strong woman. 8 a.m. I showed up. She thought I was alone. She opened the door in a silk robe, a smug smile on her face. Theo, come to beg. I told you the house didn't want to be sold. Her smile died. Standing behind me were 2 sheriff's deputies. Ma'am, are you Alara last name? The first deputy said, not unkindly. Yes? What is this? We have a writ of possession for this property. You are no longer a legal resident. You have 1 hour to gather your personal necessities. A moving crew, hired by the plaintiff, will be here at 9 a.m. to remove the remainder of your belongings. Her face went from smug to white to a blotchy, ugly red. No, you can't. I have rights. This is my home, Theo, you bastard. Your rights ended when you deliberately flooded my home, I said, my voice dead. The judge agreed. She tried to slam the door. The deputy put his hand up. Ma'am, that's not a good idea. Please, gather your things. She tried to call her mom. She tried to call Tian. I could hear his voicemail greeting from the doorway. He didn't answer. Shocking. She just broke. She started screaming, just an incoherent animal rage. The deputies were unmoved. At 9 a.m., the movers I hired showed up. I gave them instructions. Box everything. Take it to this storage unit. I'd prepaid for 1 month at a unit 5 miles away. I handed Alara the key. Here, the rest of your brand is here. You can curate it from storage. She was forced to stand on the lawn in her robe, holding a duffel bag, while a team of 4 guys systematically emptied her life onto the curb and into a moving truck. Her friends, her clothes, her stupid, curated driftwood. All of it. Gone in 2 hours. The neighbors were watching. It was quite the show. The financial fallout. The revenge. But I wasn't done. Oh no. The flood. The $15,300 in fraudulent charges. I filed a suit in small claims court. Our local limit is $25,000 for the exact amount. $15,300. $5,000, my insurance deductible for the flood. $4,700, the portion of the water damage the insurance didn't cover. They fought me on deliberate acts. Total, $25,000. She was served. She didn't show up. She was probably still catatonic at her mother's house. I won. A default judgment for $25,000. The aftermath. I had the house repaired. It took another month. I sold it. I took a hit on the final price because of the damage history, but I didn't care. I was free. I heard through the grapevine what happened to Alara. She's living with Corinne in her childhood bedroom. Her career is over. You can't be a lifestyle curator from a twin bed with a floral comforter. Her 30,000 followers bled away when the content dried up. Tian is gone. Vanished. Blocked her on all platforms. And that $25,000 judgment? It's not just an IOU. It's a legal, binding debt. I sent it to a collections agency, a very persistent one. Her credit isn't just shot, it's obliterated. She can't get an apartment. She can't get a car loan. She can't even get a credit card. She is, for all intents and purposes, financially trapped. She thought I was weak, predictable, and boring. She thought I'd never leave someone like her. She was right. I didn't leave her. I just foreclosed on her entire life. She forgot that predictable and methodical are the same thing. She thought she was a tornado. She forgot I'm the guy who builds the storm shelters. It's quiet in my new place. I'm dating someone. A lawyer. She thinks the story is horrifying, but she also appreciates the paperwork. Alara wanted a curated life. She got one. A life of consequences curated entirely by her.